What's up, guys? So I've never really done one of these like tier list ranking videos. You know, you've possibly seen my top 10 videos, but I've never done something like this, one of these tier lists. And a bunch of other YouTubers that, you know, I like to watch have done them for various topics, Dragon Ball, Star Wars, and stuff like that. But I've never done one. I always thought they looked really fun to do. You know, and with this, it gives me an opportunity to rank something without having to do a top 10s list. And so I can do this more subjectively. So it's like, this is just how I personally feel about these certain characters. When I do my top 10s, I always try to remain as objective as I can and think, okay, for example, I think, okay, I really like Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3 is probably actually my third favorite game in the franchise. But I thought, okay, well, objectively speaking, it's probably the fourth best in the franchise, which I think is why I ranked it for my top 10 Kingdom Hearts games video. For various reasons that I mentioned in the video. You can check that video out. But this will allow me to be a bit more subjective and just make it how I think it should be, or what I think of these characters. And it looks really fun, so I figured, why not? So let's I guess let's get started. We'll just start here with Terra. I really like Terra. I really love his story arc. I think his voice acting was kind of cringeworthy in Birth by Sleep, but a lot of the acting was in that game. But Terra, I'm gonna go A tier. I really like Terra. I think his story arc from potential future Keyblade Master to the first vessel of Xehanort, and I mean, he's the source of Ansem Seek of Darkness as well as Xemnas. His body is the source. Well, I guess it's kind of gray with Ansem Seeker of Darkness because he got his bodily form more from Ansem possessing Riku and draining power from Riku, and that's how he gained a bodily form. Because, you know, Heartless typically don't have a body like that, so... But that's another topic for another video. Ericus. I used to like Ericus a lot. Not so much anymore. We're gonna go C tier. He tried to kill Ventus, you know. Vanitas. I think Vanitas is a fantastic character. He's basically Dark Sora. And there's the implications of who he might be. Spoilers if you have not played Union Cross. I'm about to reveal something from that game. The implications are that he is darkness itself. We know that Ventus had been carrying around darkness for a while. Then there's that clue in Kingdom Hearts 3 where he literally says, "And what I am is darkness." This implies that Vanitas is literally darkness incarnate. He is darkness in bodily form. I think that's awesome. And the fact that he looks like a Dark Sora, even better. S tier. Xigbar, easy, S tier. I love Xigbar. My favorite or second favorite, he's up there. He's way up there. Spoilers, again, we also know he's Luciu, which just adds to how fantastic the character is. Never a dull moment when Xigbar is on screen. Every cutscene he's a part of, he demands your attention and he steals the spotlight every single time. Dylan, formerly known as Zaldin, I don't give a shit. Vexen, he's at least a little bit more interesting than Dylan, or I say Vexen, but he could also be Evan. He's a little bit more interesting, but I don't like his face, you know. Lexius or Alias, I give even less of a shit than Dylan. Ienzo, formerly known as Zexion, he's gonna go right here with Vexen. I thought he had a decent enough design, but I don't like his presumptuous tone. I feel like he's going to be a good exposition character going forward, but I really don't care much about him anymore. Syx or Isa. I guess here he'd be Isa because he's wearing a regular coat. Hard to tell, really, because it looks like his eyes might be yellow in the picture. I don't really remember. We're going to put him in B, because he's a character that I want to see more growth with. I want to see more of his character. Right now, we don't really have a... I mean, we know who he is. We know he's childhood friends with Axel, Lee. And we know he's one of the Vessels, but that's about the extent of what we know about him. I want more of him. I want to get to know the character more. We don't really know much about him. Axel, or Lee, A tier. He's a great character. It's another character that demands your attention, but I feel like he gets too much attention as it is. I feel like he's a little bit overrated, but he is a great character. Sora. Sora's a tough one, because Sora has had some growth. The people who say Sora's had no character growth are the same people who say Goku has no character growth, and they're fucking stupid. Like, they don't actually understand what character growth looks like, and they say it's not character growth simply because they can't see it. But he does have character growth. I mean, you look at how he is in Kingdom Hearts 1, he is not the same person by the time he is in Kingdom Hearts 3. If you really look at the nuances of the character, he's a completely different character, and he has changed considerably. Now, not to the degree that someone like Riku has. I'm not saying he has just as much character development as someone like Riku, but he does have development. I really like Sora. I'm a big fan of Sora. I'm a big fan of Sora, but his constant positive attitude can turn me off sometimes, so I'm going to go A. Demyx, A tier. I love Demyx. I think he's a very, very entertaining character. I like that he's sort of a coward, but when it's time to, like, get serious, he just flips that switch. And, you know, silence, traitor. I love that line so much, and that fight with him, even though it pissed me off as a kid, it's super easy now. Luxord. I'm gonna put him in B. He's a character I initially didn't used to care much about in Kingdom Hearts 2, but Kingdom Hearts 3 opened my eyes to the fact that there's more to this guy. And I feel like he could move up to A or possibly even S once we learn more about him. Marluxia. I'm putting him in A just because I like Marluxia. If you can have pink hair, a pink weapon, have Sakura petals floating around you when you fight, and still be a badass, you're a badass. I love Marluxia. I love his sort of monotone voice, how he speaks, how it's like he doesn't really care about anything. I've always liked villains like that. That's why I like Sephiroth so much. Larxene. Larxene's an interesting character, but she's kind of a bitch, so she goes in B tier. Ansem, Seeker of Darkness. This one's tough. This one's really tough. I do like him. I liked his original voice actor more. But I feel like he just doesn't have the weight that some other characters do, and I got tired of seeing him over time, so I'm gonna put him in B tier. Xemnas, S tier. If you know anything about me, you know Xemnas is like my favorite Kingdom Hearts antagonist of all time. The voice by Paul St. Peter is chilling. The way the character talks, the way the character moves, everything about Xemnas is just straight business. And it's haunting and chilling, and I love it. Xemnas is incredible. I liked him a little bit more before his redesign. So I liked him in Kingdom Hearts 2, where he had the more anime-like face with a thinner jawline and chin. And they sort of widened his face out a bit in 3. He does look more manly now. I will say that. Young Xehanort. D tier. I really don't like young Xehanort. He's not down in E, because E is like for people... Honestly, E is for people I just plain don't care about. Like, I don't give a shit. If I don't like you, at least I have a strong feeling about you. But if you're an E tier, I just don't give a shit. I literally could care less if you were completely written out. Let's see. Xehanort. Master Xehanort is gonna be... Ooh, this is tough. A tier. He's a great character. I mean, he's the man that started all of this. A lot of what has happened in Kingdom Hearts is because of him pulling the strings. And plus, all of his voice actors have been great. I hate that that role is cursed, but all of his actors have been great. Of course, Leonard Nimoy is the GOAT. You can't match his voice. Ansem the Wise. Yeah, I don't like him. Xehanort, I don't care. Riku. This is tough because Riku is almost S tier. He would be S tier simply because of his great character development if his character development didn't take so freaking long to achieve. Like, if you play all of the games, it just feels like it takes him forever to figure out who he is. And he's such a martyr. Like, it gets on my nerves, like, fucking woe is me. Like, shut the like, oh, he didn't want to be found, and, oh, he's upset or sad because he had to give into darkness. Like, fucking get over it. Alette, D tier. I at least like her more than Xehanort and Pence. Speaking of Pence, don't fucking care. Master of Masters, we don't know enough about him, so I'm gonna say B, but I really like the character. What's this guy's name? Ira? I think his name's Ira or something. He's got a cool design, but there's really not much to him, so we're gonna put him in D. Ava, B tier. I really like Ava. I don't think she's exceptional, but I really like her. You know what? We're gonna move Ava to A tier. I really like Ava. Aced. Yeah, I really don't care. Envy. We're gonna go B tier because I really like Master Envy. She's my union leader. Gula. I care even less about Gula than I do Aced. Ephemer. I think he's a decent character. We'll put him in C. No, wait. We're gonna put him back in D. Scold. Scold goes in C because she's a better character than Ephemer. She definitely has better writing. Kairi, C tier. She is as close to the middle as we can get because she has had very little character development. Her character feels the same now as it did near the beginning of the franchise. She hasn't changed much from Kingdom Hearts 2, basically. Melody of Memory helped, but she still had to be saved by Sora in her own memories. So she loses points for that. Strelitzia, I don't remember much about her. Like, I think I remember liking the character, but the fact that I can't really remember means that she's kind of forgettable, so we're going to put her in C. Brain, I like Brain, A tier. He's my favorite character in Union Cross. I like the way he thinks, the way he operates. I like that he's basically playing 4D chess while everybody's playing checkers. I love it. Chirithy. I mean, I'm kind of indifferent about Chirithy. It's whatever. I mean, I like the character, but whatever. Roxas. I'm about to make some people mad. D. Here's the thing. If you know anything about me, you know I don't like Roxas. I really, really do not like Roxas. Again, disclaimer, this is my subjective list. If I was to make an objective list, or if I was to make a top 10, he'd probably be in that top 10. Because he is a good character. He's a great character. He's got great character development. He had a badass entrance in Kingdom Hearts 3. But I personally don't like him. I have never liked Roxas. I think he's a crybaby. I just don't like him. He's another one of those characters that's like, oh, woe is me. Oh, everything's so terrible. Well, shut the fuck up. Nominee, same group. I don't particularly care for Nominee. Now, Shion, on the other hand, I love Shion. I think she's a fantastic character. I love that she has a very tragic story. I really appreciate that. Riku Replica, it's whatever. It's Riku Replica. Aqua. This is tough. Aqua. She's got her shortcomings, but she has grown as a character. Fragmentary Passage showed her growth as a character. She's really what holds her trio together. Huh. Yeah, we're gonna give Aqua S tier. Ventus, A tier. I love Ventus, and I really don't like Roxas. Ventus is pure and innocent, and I like that about Ventus. Yozora, we're going B tier because he's a badass character that I know basically nothing about. We don't know enough about him, and we need more. I need to know more about who Yozora is exactly. And the rest of these characters are from Dark Road. I don't remember any of their names except for Odin, their master. Don't really care. Don't really care. Don't really care and don't like him. Don't really care. Hey, get right there. Actually, we're gonna move that one up because that one I was like, okay with. Her, however, she's adorable. She goes up in B. Well, maybe not that good. She goes in C. Yeah, it's not that important. Well, there you are. There's my tier list. That was fun. I've never done something like this before. Let me know if you like this video and you want to see more of these, because I would love to do more of these. This was fun. You know, for certain topics that I don't think I'll make a top 10 video out of, and if I do, it'll come at a later date, because like I said, this is my subjective list, what I personally think of these characters. If I were to do a top 10 video, I would have to write it down, try to be more objective about how I'm ranking these characters and their character growth, their importance to the plot, everything else. And a top 10 list would probably share some similarities with my list, but it would probably look pretty different, because there are characters I don't like personally that are great characters, like Roxas. I can't stand Roxas. I actually hate Roxas. But he's a great character, and I can't deny that. You know, just because I don't like something doesn't mean it's not good. And I think that's something that's wrong with a lot of people today, especially people on the internet, is they think if they don't like it, it's not good. It may not be good to you, but it may objectively be good, you know? But that's how I feel about Roxas. But let me know if you like this and if you want to see more, and I'll catch you in the next video. You stole my heart of gold after my silver.